Hey everyone, we finally have Pearl back in the map pool. At the time of recording this, Pearl is officially back along with Split. Icebox and Lotus are gone. Thank God Icebox is gone, even though it's one of Deadlock's better-ish maps. But it's good to see some variety in the map pool, especially because I think Deadlock is very, very good on Split. I think it's one of her best maps. However, Pearl is a little bit of a gray area because Pearl in competitive involves a lot of splitting and lurking, and I wouldn't say so much splitting, but more lurking. There's usually someone lurking around the mid area. I do it all the time. A lot of Sentinel players do all the time. But why I think Deadlock is actually relatively strong on Pearl is because the main meta of Pearl is just slam it B. Go B. If you have an ult, go A. So this video is going to be a little bit different from the guides that I've shown before, just in the beginning, and it's not going to be very long, just like a quick little breakdown of how I think you should be playing Deadlock on this map, on defense and attack. It's just going to be like a short little yap session with me showing off some things that I think you should do, and then we're going to go over nade lineups, sonic sensor placements, places to put your wall, though there aren't a lot. There's not very like many. You just kind of put it where you think you should put it, but there are a lot of cool ult lineup spots. One that I've actually hit in game, which I will show you guys later. But with all that, let's go ahead and move on to how you guys should be playing Deadlock on Pearl. Okay, so a lot of people's first question may be, should I be playing on A or should I be playing on B? And this is a great question because I personally feel that I think we can mostly agree on this, that Deadlock is better on A. It's a more condensed site. You have a lot more places to put your sensor. Your wall is going to cover a bigger area, so on and so on. So I would suggest, if you're obviously in comp, there is a lot less, being able to work with your teammates. If you notice that your teammates are heavily leaning towards B, go A. If they are heavily leaning towards A/mid, then go B. But if you got to kind of play on the opposite end. But if I'm going to give you guys a straight up just concrete answer, I think you should go B, even though I personally play A a lot on Pearl. And my reasoning is because B is such an easy site to hit. It's such an easy site. So you being here is really going to deter the enemies from just full running it down, especially if you're placing your sensors to screw over the jets that are just dashing in, neons that are sliding in, raises that are flying past, and you can cut them off from their teammates, so on and so on. So I think the first suggestion I'm going to give you guys, heavily lean towards playing B site, but always remember that if you see all your teammates running B, just let them go do their own thing. Go play the opposite side. If you notice that the team is not able to hold B, you can try to make a suggestion. Again, it's ranked, but this is just, I'm just, giving you guys ideas. Try to be like, hey, can I play B? Just because it's, they're running down pretty hard, I can stop them with my utility, and then maybe someone trade with me and go A. Something like that. But the biggest question in the room that a lot of people are going to point out is, no matter which site you go to, what do you do about mid? I personally like putting my utility down on B and then going to lurk through mid. Now, you cannot lurk every single round. You also have to worry, do they have a Cypher? Do they have a chamber? Do they have someone who has an actual trip? If not, then you got to be careful of someone who's holding mid, because they're, you can't just swing straight out here. Like, if you're going to come out here, you got to take your time. You got to check these corners, slowly make your way up, so on and so on. You need to learn lurk timings, and that is one of the biggest things that I had to learn as playing Deadlock, because I think Deadlock is really good being a lurk agent. She gives off the vibe that she helps her teammates get into sight, and that's what's cool about her, is that she can do both, because lurk, you don't really need anything to lurk. It's why technically Arena can lurk, they just shouldn't lurk because their utility is made more for going into sight. Same thing with all of the initiators. You shouldn't lurk. You could, because you don't really need anything. Besides, the only thing that really helps someone lurking is Cypher, because he can lurk up like on a scent, he can lurk up B main and then have his cam in mid. But So I think playing around, I think dropping your utility on B and then playing around mid, lurking through mid, or just making sure that someone is playing mid. They don't even have to like play on both sides. So long as if there's one, you just need to make that space. So if you are the person playing mid, if you're coming through art, you're gonna want to make this space. Because once you're here, the entirety of mid is given to you. They can't go anywhere through mid, and so this is a really good spot to get up into. I wouldn't, again, these are suggestions. I'm not saying do this every single round. I'm saying do these, like, you know, not every other round either. Like, every, like, 3 or 4 rounds. Because people will catch on. That's my biggest thing with playing on defense overall. Is everything that I just said. You know, you got to pick a site, and then I would recommend playing towards mid, unless they have an ult, which most likely they're gonna take it A, which then I would play on site and get ready, depending on what the ult is, get ready for them to push in. If it's a Raze ult, obviously you're not gonna fight them, but something like maybe someone's playing Harbor, but like Fade ult or something like that, you know, ults that you can still kind of fight on site with, you know, with your sensors and your wall and throwing your net to stop them from pushing out. KJ ult is a perfect example. I always, anytime on any map of KJ ults, I always sit to like 5 seconds in the ult, and then I toss my net into the main to slow them from pushing out, which can literally make the KJ ult pointless. Your 200 credit grenade can make an entire 9 cost ult pointless, so long as you just time it properly. So overall, on that's pretty much like all I have to say for defense in particular is, you know, just make sure don't go to the same side every time. Try to lurk through mid every now and then, because you have to remember you don't have the lurk up awareness like a Cypher trip, a Cypher cam, KJ alarm bot, chamber trip. You don't have those things, so you have to sacrifice yourself to like cover that area. But the trade-off being that instead of like, you know, Cypher like only gets the trip, you know, over here there, and then like over here, but you get to put both your sensors here, your wall, and then you have your net on top of it, and you lose someone watching mid, or like a piece of utility watching mid instead of an entire person. Okay, so that's defense. I don't really have anything else to say. Obviously, and this is another big thing, give me questions. I love when you guys ask questions. I will always try to respond to everybody. So if you have any questions on a specific scenario, I will always try to give my best answer in the comments down below. And also, I always stream almost every single day. We're currently on the Immortal grind. Every single day, I stream 5:30 CST. If you want to drop in there and drop a question, come on by. It's Gibyn with an underscore on the end at Twitch. But yeah, so let's go ahead and move on to attack, where it's going to be kind of the same thing. Okay, so on attack, if you guys weren't here for the Pearl meta before, B is the site to go to. It's easy to push in. It's easy to, you know, you'll smoke this, you'll wall site, and it's really easy to get into site, plant the bomb, and then go play post. Now, the main thing that you're going to run into is when people are rotating from A, because they have this option that this mid is very easy to go through. It's kind of like a scent when you're running through tree. That option to run through mid and go tiles or back through mid to market, it's a very like, hey, like it's here, you can do it. Like on Haven, you run through the B site, but going to mid is kind of like you almost like don't want to do it. Like your brain tells you not to do it. So this map, you know, like it seems more safe, I think is the word I'm trying to look for. It seems more safe to run through this area and then, you know, come for the lurk or run down through here, which this is normal because you'll end up making your way over here anyway. But you'll tend to see people like they'll run through A main to grab this orb, and then they'll make their way over here, or they'll come through art and come through mid. And so the reason I'm saying this is because people are going to look to lurk behind you when you're on attack a lot more. So I tend to like play through mid. You can literally just sit in this corner and you have almost the entirety of mid watch. It's very rare that you're going to see people come all the way through your spawn. It does happen, so I'm not saying that it's never gonna happen, but it very rarely does. So you just gotta be wary of these areas all the time. But the other thing is if you go 3, 4, 5 rounds and you notice, hey, they're not lurking behind me, it's okay to drop sitting here and go with your team. But your utility isn't the best at like getting onto site on Pearl B specifically, because throwing the nade from here can be a little hard unless you're using a lineup. But once the like your teammate is halfway through, you could come up here, get your wall down. I'll show you guys later, but we do have a wall lineup from here to here that you can throw as well to help support your teammates. So there's a lot of variety to be played from being like sitting out here. So again, it's kind of the same thing. On Pearl, just get ready. People are going to lurk around. They're going to walk through mid. Mid is an area that people really like to play through on this map. So on attack, just be wary of that. If you're going A, I think you should just slam it through A with your teammates. But you can always lurk through art. You can always sit up here and hold this for an enemy pushing through. And then you can always, you know, lurk up, pass through here. You can get on top of this to have some weird off angle. So on and so on. But yeah, but overall, for Pearl, on attacking and defending, lurking is going to be your friend because you are the lurking anti-lurk. There, you know, you're going to catch people off guard. You're going to make people mad. And then again, if you don't notice, like a whole big part of it is just recognizing things. If you recognize that they aren't lurking, okay, then maybe you don't need to do it. But if you notice that you got to kill one round, okay, they're probably not going to do it again next round because you shut them down. So wait a round or two. And, you know, they'll be like, oh, Deadlock's been pushing in sight with them. Okay, I'm going to try and lurk again. And then you're there again. It's kind of, you just got to get that mental mind read. And also, whenever you're lurking through mid on attack, just be careful. You know, you got to get those timings down where, like, you're looking here, but are we sure that there's no one here? Like, if we're already pushed up through here and about to go on to A, more than likely someone is not here because they're coming to help their teammate on site. So it's more likely that we're going to see someone here. So you want to look through here. Our teammates are pushing into the site. Okay, cool. There's no one here. All right, I got a good lurk timing. And then you still got to be wary. There may be someone waiting here for you if you are known to lurk. Like if you've been doing it in the game, they may be waiting for you. So, but that's all it. That's my little tangent on how I think you guys should be playing Pearl in general and mainly as Deadlock. But let's go ahead and move on to the cool stuff, which is the lineups, you know, the ult lineups, the nade lineups, cool sensor spots, so on and so on. Okay, so the first ability we're obviously going to be going over is Gravnet. The main thing of Gravnet on Pearl is it's kind of weird because people play in a lot of different spots on A, but on B, it's a little bit more linear, and the spots may seem a little odd where I'm going to be throwing them, but you'll see why. So the spots we're going to be going over are Hall on B site, B tower, Link, and then we're going to be on A site, we're going to be doing A Link, back site, dugout, I can't ping it, but dugout and secret right here. And the reason why is because this area right here, some people tend to back up from site and come here, or you may catch the person from art. We do also have a wall lineup, so you could say this Gravnet isn't really worth it if you're just going to do the wall lineup. The backside one is an obvious one. A lot of people play backside. Secret is where a lot of people with ops like to hold this angle right here, and then dugout, a lot of people will sit back here, and if they are a sitting duck, it'll be a very easy kill with the Gravnet. So let's go ahead and move on to B site, the first one being Hall. Okay, so for B site, hitting Hall, we're going to come back into this corner right here, and we are going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of these little shingles over. We're going to look at the middle, come down to where this dark part of the ledge is here, and we're going to do a jump throw. No escape. And as you see, it's going to land right in the middle of the entrance, which is going to catch anybody that is sitting here and anybody that is sitting over in this corner right here. And the main reason that I like throwing this one is you're going to see a lot of oppers playing here, and people that get hit in the smoke are going to get hit by this. So as you can see, it actually comes all the way back here if I go sit on my ping. So it's going to hit someone all the way back here. So anybody that is trying to hold this angle or if they're trying to set at an angle like this, you're going to catch this person. So I think this is a really solid one for anybody that is having an issue with oppers. Maybe for some reason your smoker won't smoke this. You don't have a smoke. I think this is going to be a very good spot. Obviously, Jets are going to have a hard time getting away because they're going to be holding this. They're going to get netted, and then they're going to try and dash away, and they're only going to do half the distance. So, yeah, I think this is a very solid one. I think this is like one that you could throw almost every single time that you go B. But let me go ahead and show you the other two, which I think are, you know, pretty solid as well. Okay, so for B-Link, this is mainly to hit those people that are just trying to play like a different part of the site. You know, most people will play behind screens, Hall, just that kind of wall. And then you're going to be looking at the other side of the wall where there is this cool piece of art with all these buildings on it. And you're going to be taking this part of your HUD that has your health and the shields on it, and you'll see this little lip up. You're going to be taking that and putting it on the corner of this very top green building where there's this like kind of little flag thing coming off of it. Just like this, and then you're going to go ahead and jump throw. And this one's, you know, these are typically pretty easy. As you can see, it comes all the way out here and comes all the way back here. Just covers a gigantic piece of space. So if someone is ever like kind of holding this corner right here, it's going to get them. It'll get them here. And then if they try to, if they try to back up at all as your team is pushing in, they're going to just run straight into it. So another really easy one that if you know people like to play there, you could throw this every single round. Again, I think most of these are ones that you can throw every single round. Let's go ahead, and then I'll go ahead and show you the heaven one, and then we'll move on to a site. Okay, so to hit heaven, it hits a decent chunk of heaven, but it doesn't go super far into it. You could find another one where you're over here, but you're a lot more exposed. Same idea. We're just gonna be putting ourselves up on this wall. You can use the same weird marking to just line yourself up perfectly if you need. Now, what you're gonna do is we're looking at the painting of the buildings again, and you're gonna be looking at this specific part right here. So here's the green building that we were looking at before. We're gonna come down to this gray building and then this dark gray spot right here. And all you're doing is taking the middle of your gravnet and putting it on the end here. So where like all the crosses meet, you're taking this middle part right in the middle here, and just putting it on that part of the building there. And then you're gonna jump throw.
No escape.
And you'll see that it goes a decent way into heaven. It's gonna land right there. It comes all the way back here, covers that back corner. So another one, if like you know someone's playing heaven, it's kind of one of those ones that like, I don't know. I probably wouldn't throw it all the time, but just a solid one. So let's go ahead and move on to A. All right. A site. So the spawn barrier is typically right at this tree here, and so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look at this wall just to give you an idea. This little spot on the wall, again, it's not perfect, but this will give you the general idea of where to stand. So we're gonna be standing on the barrier here, and then you're gonna be looking up at this bush right here, and you'll see this part sticking out right here with a little pink petal on it. You're going to be looking just at the very end of it, and then you're going to go ahead and jump throw. And then this one is going to land backside. And it actually covers a very decent chunk of the site. Normally it doesn't land on top of this building. Again, that's just because I'm not standing on the barrier. Normally it lands a little bit further back. So yeah, again, one way or the other, lands on the building or not, it will cover this entire area. Very solid one because there's pretty much nowhere you can stand. Alrighty, so to hit the secret spot, same thing. We're going to be coming up to the barrier and standing up against this wall. And then we're going to take the right side of our HUD, and we're going to be placing it where the wall and this shingle meet. So right there. And then we're going to go ahead and jump throw.
No escape.
And then this covers a very big chunk of the secret angle. So you can see it goes all the way back there and then somewhere over there. It just covers a huge space. So if for some reason, if a jet is ever playing here with an op, they're going to get hit and they try to dash away, they're only going to make it like probably there. So they aren't going to get too far away. If they pull the net out, it still, still helps you guys get on the site. So a very, very solid option if there is an opper. And then you also have the one backside that will just cover whoever's playing backside, because there will pretty much always be someone there. Again, these are two ones that I think you could throw almost every single time. So let me go ahead and show you guys the dugout one now. Okay, and then our final one that is going to take place over here. We're going to walk up, push ourselves where the barrier would be, and then we are going to take the left side of the white part of our gravnet HUD, so this right here, and then we're going to be lining it up with this brick here on the wall. So just the way to remember is, 1, 2, and then this one that goes up. So you can just be placing it right there. And then we're going to go ahead and jump throw. And then this is just to hit those people that like to hide in dugout. Maybe ciphers are playing here or something. And the whole point of it is that instead of them being able to, like maybe it's a Yoru and they're trying to TP out, this will give him some kind of consequence. Or, Cypher's trying to sit here with his trips. It just makes it another way that he can't get away or easily get away or run. Maybe he has a cage here that he's going to pop and then run away after he does this thing. No, he is stuck here, so just another solid one that you could throw every time. Now I'm going to show you the A-Link one, and then we'll move on to some cool wall lineups. There's not a lot, but there are some decent ones. All right, and to hit the A-Link person, what you're going to be doing is coming up into this box right here, and then you're going to take the little white bar of the HUD between your wall and ult, and then on the part of the dome right here that has these little lines coming through, you're going to go all the way to the bottom one, not the very bottom, but just right above it, and then you're going to go ahead and jump through.
No escape.
As you can see, it's going to land. Perfect. Covers all the way back here. Covers over here. Again, for anybody that's playing over here, this can also help the person that is pushing art. If you have multiple people that are pushing art and then this person realizes it's too much that they can't handle, then this nade could land at the same exact time. But we also have another option, which is the wall, which I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to do the wall lineups now. But if you have any questions about any other abilities as well, go ahead and drop a comment for that as well. So let's go ahead and move on to the wall lineups for attack. Okay, starting the wall lineups on Pearl for attacking, the first one that you're going to be doing for a site is the barrier normally spawns here, like we talked about with the Gravnet lineups. You're going to have to run past once the wall barriers drop. You're going to line yourself up with this tile right here, where the two gray dots are. You're going to be looking at the tip right here. And then you're going to see this lady in art with the flowers in her hand, and you're going to be looking at the top of the flowers in this hand right here. So just right there. And you do have to look at this part specifically, or else the wall will not make it past. This just allows it to barely go past, and there is a reason it's specifically thrown like this. Because once it gets over the wall, you'll notice that if we want to get through as the art player, we're going to have to break this node and this node over here, which obviously we're not going to do that. So then we're going to have to spend time breaking the big node. And then if we are this player over here, we cannot jump over, we cannot walk past. So we have to then again break this node and that node there, or we have to break the big node. Unfortunately, this wall doesn't cover over here. So you do have to be worried about if someone is playing here for any reason, if they're sitting here, but obviously we'll probably have this smoked off. So just a very solid wall lineup to do. It does require a little bit of setup, but if you just practice it a few times, it becomes super easy. So now I'm going to show you guys another very good wall lineup. This one I have to quote Symmetry for finding it. He's in our Discord, and if you guys ever want to post any of your cool findings, you should definitely hop over to the Discord. It's in the description. Lots of cool people there, lots of people to interact with and talk about all your Deadlock and even Vice lineups or setups or anything you want to talk about in general. It doesn't even have to be those two related. So let's go ahead and hop over there. Alrighty, so if you are going B site, this is going to help out your teammates so much, because this is going to turn off the entirety of the B link. We do not have to worry about this. So the second the round starts, you're just going to come over here. You're going to stand up. You're going to come as far to the left as you can on this box. Again, massive credit to Symmetry for this one. And then you're going to be taking this part of your HUD that sticks out where your health and shields are, and you're going to be putting it in this window, and you're going to put it in the bottom right of it, and then you're going to go ahead and jump through.
Barrier deployed.
And as you can see, it goes over, it lands, and then once again, we either have to destroy the big node or we have to destroy the two little nodes. The other cool thing about this one is this person is also going to be stuck. If you have some crazy like gecko molly combo, you could do the net I showed you guys earlier along with the gecko molly to whoever is in here is screwed, because this wall will sit here. I doubt this person is going to take the time to break this wall. They're probably going to be more focused looking this way. So again, a very solid wall that I would throw almost every single time. So that's the last wall lineup that I have. I'm going to show you guys ult lineups, and then the end of the video is just going to be a compilation of just some sensor spots. I'm just going to go A defense to B defense, just showing off some sensor spots, and then that'll pretty much be the end of the video. I don't really have anything else, but this ult lineup part is going to be the biggest part, because there's going to be defender and attacking, post plant, plant denial, so on and so on. So let's go ahead and start. We'll just go to A, and then we'll go to B. All right, so the first one that I have, toss it there. I'm actually going to show a clip of me doing this in game. This was found by Finnick in the Discord. Massive shout out to this one, because this ult lineup is so cool. I love doing it. So you're going to come all the way back into the main right here. As you can see, we're super safe all the way back here. And then what you're going to be doing is you're going to walk up to this part of the wall, and you'll see there is a little indent right here. We're going to be lining ourselves up with the left side of it. Now, this is kind of hard The main way that I go about it is I look where the tree and this part of the building meet, pull my ult out, and then I just come down until it's pointing straight towards the bomb site. Go ahead and shoot it, and as you can see, it's going to pop and pull this person. Again, I'm going to put this clip on screen. Again, super, super, super great ult. You're very safe. It can get you net you the kill very easily. It's such a good ult. I love it. It's so good. But another ult for you, if you aren't able to make it all the way back there in time, if you want to stand right here on the edge of here, you're going to be looking at this light, pull your ult out, and then you're going to wait until you see how it goes straight. It's a little weird. It's a little finicky. I would recommend practicing this one. And then it's going to bounce and pop right there. Another very solid ult lineup. There's a lot of really cool ult lineups on Pearl. For anybody that needs something just a little bit more generic, if you come in, that is also particularly safe. If you come into the back of main, you're going to see this stuff on the wall that says Kingdom. You're going to line yourself up with the wires here, and then all you're going to do is you can come back as far as you want, so long as there's a little piece of the wall to see, and then you're just going to bounce on that wall. You can do it here. You just don't want to come all the way back here because then it starts to miss. So right here, again, this is the safest way to do it. As you can see, it pops and gets that person there. That one's just for people that need something a little bit more easier, something that's a little quicker. It also gets the kill compared to these other ults. I'm not 100% sure if this one kills. Actually, I know it works. I just don't remember. Okay, so now we're going to move on to some of the weirder ones for attacking post plant. One of the first attacking post ones is there isn't really an area to stand. I guess you can stand on the corner of this box if you want to. You just need to make sure that this part of the building is standing out. You're just going to look up here, bounce off there. Bam, there you go. Very easy. If you're coming through art, that's the best way to go about it. Okay, and now we have a little bit of a weird one. It's a little precise. It does require some practice. So what you're going to be doing is coming into this back area where the slope is. You're going to be pushing yourself up into this corner over here. We're going to be going up, lining ourselves up with the bars over here. We're going to go to the second one, and if you're coming from the other way, it's going to be the third one. So you're going to line up right here. Now, we're going to be looking at this lamp, and the idea is that you don't want to go, so as you can see, as we go to the right, we have a little bit of room to move around. You want to go to the right, but not so much, like, you don't want to go right to the edge before the ult turns. You want to come a little bit out, and you also don't want to go too far down. So as you can see, we can go up and down before the ult changes. So the idea is you kind of want to just kind of get into the corner right here. As you can see, the ult goes, and it's going to grab this planter. It's a very unique and different ult. The best idea is to plant a little bit more out in the open, so like right there. And again, once again, we're gonna get in the corner. I'm gonna do it kind of fast. We're gonna get in the corner, second bar, look up. Oh. Again, it's a little weird. It's a little weird. If you can get the plant into backside, it's even better. But it's a very cool and a very, very different ult. So I really like it. Okay, and I do have one more attacking one for you. What you're going to be doing is you're going to be coming to art. You'll see these stairs. You're going to come up to the third stair. So 1, 2, and then 3. This is just to get a general idea of where to line up. And then I would also practice this one in game because it is a little finicky. The best way I can explain it is don't go too high. So right below this and above this area. So kind of just come in the middle. And you'll see how it bends like this, like another 90-degree ult that we have on a few other maps. And then you're going to go ahead and shoot it. And then you'll see nothing there. Comes over here, hits the site. This one, you might have to plant a little bit more to the right for it, but I'm 90% sure it does hit default. Again, these are ones that I would suggest just practicing in game. Besides this one over here and then this one here, those two are for sure, they are good to go. Oh, and also the one back here. Those three are all you can use them and they will work. So yeah. That's how I feel about the attacking ults. I think they're all very, very good. They're all very safe, especially because as long as you hold, like, if your whole team pushes through main and you are holding art, like you're able to lurk through, these two ults here will treat you really well. Okay, so for retaking ults or plant denial ults, we have a really easy one. All you're doing is just looking at this lamp, and so long as you're standing up on this wall, like it can be anywhere in this area right here, you just look at this lamp. Bam, it bounces. Nothing there. And it hits the site. If you stand more to the left, like here, it's gonna get more of the where the person is planting. You do just take the risk of someone swinging out here or being down here, while over here you can, be tucked a little bit instead like this. So yeah, that's how, just a really easy one. You know, so sometimes the easy ones are just what you should go for. So yeah. Okay, so this next one is another one that is just, again, a little finicky. So the idea is that you're going to come over into the flowers area, and you're going to push yourself up on this box, and then we are looking up at this pillar right here. The best way that I look at it is, you see how it's kind of cut up into sections? So there's like the 1 section, 2, and then there's this 3rd one. I'm looking at this kind of middle part, and you'll see the ults come down like this, where it looks like it's going to come back down towards the back of site, but when you shoot it, it actually hits the middle is here, so whoever is planting, this will grab them. Retaking ult lineups on this map are always going to be kind of because the areas that you're doing them from are either really basic, or you're kind of in this weird congested area where you can't do too much. Because like the main problem is that we can't back up enough to where we can just shoot it straight out, and there isn't really anything to bank it off of. Like, you could maybe do this. Yeah, you could do that. So if you find yourself in this position, maybe you're playing on site, you can always just look over here and do that if you just want something basic. Doing it off here is actually really good, because if the ult gets over into this area, it's going to be really hard for them to shoot. And then getting back over this area once they're back site, like, you only have 2 real good areas for the enemies to be able to break them. So that, honestly, doing that ult isn't terrible. And then just like how this is a post plant ult, you can also do this to plant denial. That one also works for plant denial. Again, it's probably better to do it this way. And again, a lot of people will say, like, oh, what's the point of this? Like, what's the point of, like, just, you know, why don't you just shoot it at them? You know, you could always just do that. And that's true, but you see how exposed we are and how we have to look at the ground to shoot it? It's making it safer and making it more consistent. That's how I personally like to use the ult, and that's, you know, I think it helps a lot of people out as well. So, now I'm going to show you guys the B ult lineups, and then, like I said, I'll show you guys a couple cool sound sensors, and then that's going to be it. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the B ones. Okay, so for post plant on B, unfortunately, we do not have a lot of cool things. Just because there isn't a lot to bounce off of, there just really isn't anything to really look at. So the only things that I really have for you is sitting behind the pillar where a lot of people sit. You're going to look at, there's these lines on the wall right here. You're just looking at the very first one. And there you go straight there. The other option that I have for you is peeking your head out a little bit, and you'll notice how the lamp over here allows you to kind of move it around. You don't want it to be 90 degrees where it's pointing directly at the bomb. You want to look a little bit more to the right. You'll notice how it comes out a tiny bit. You shoot it, it'll hit that person. Now, credit to Symmetry for this one, because this is a very broken ult that shouldn't exist in the game. If you guys are ever feeling a little silly, a little weird, a little goofy, if you look over this way and you see this lamp right here, you notice how it goes 90 degrees when I look to the left on it?
Nothing there.
This does work. I don't know, because this wall over here doesn't have collision. As you can see, when I ping through this wall, it pings over onto this side. This wall has no collision. So you see how my ping is going through here? This wall has no collision. We can shoot it and stuff like that, but the ult, watch, it's going to go all the way over here.
Nothing there.
I don't know what happened. So, yeah, you can look at this wall right here, shoot it, and if you think someone's there, if you ask Sova to, like, hey, Sova, I want you, or like Gecko be like, hey, I want you to dart right there, or like dart on this back building, and you see someone, rip that, and there you go. For post plant, the only options that we really have is if you're coming through CT, you can look at this lamp. Bam. That's actually kind of a cool one. I do like it. And then this one I very, 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 very much like. It's one of my favorite ults, actually. So if you're coming from the alleyway, street, whatever, lane, whatever people call it, you're going to be looking up here at this tree. And the only way I can explain it is if you look down here, you'll notice how the ult is pointing down towards site. It's going to go up and bounce down, and it's going to go towards site, just like this. So I guess the best way to do it is you'll see this little bush that's peeking over the rail. You're looking kind of just down in the bottom right area of it where this really dark leaf is.
Ultimate ready.
And there you go.
Nothing
And then it
there.
pops and then it pulls them up. Yeah. Yep. Yes. It's a very, 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 very good ult lineup. I very much like it. But overall, that's pretty much all the, like, the beginning of the video. I had a little bit of advice for you guys. That's pretty much all the abilities that I want to show off, all the little cool, neat tech that you can do. I don't think there's really any other super cool, like, walls or anything you could do. I don't think there's, you know, any Gravnet lineups. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and show some cool sensor spots, some areas that you can put the sensor, some ideas to just put in your head. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I have to show off. I hope these were all helpful. If you guys have any suggestions or your own lineups that you want to show off, you should definitely join the Discord or leave a comment down below. I would greatly appreciate if you guys subscribe for more future content, because this is just going to keep rolling out with new maps, returning, maps changing. I will constantly release new ideas and new tech for you guys to look at. So any support, liking the video, sharing the video, I appreciate any support you guys can give me. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I wanted to show off. I'm going to go ahead and throw you guys over to the little Sonic sensor part, where it's just going to be me showing off on sites. There's going to be no commentary or anything, and then that'll be the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.
Sound sensor up. Sound sensor up. Over there. Over there. Listening. Over there. Sound sensor up. Over there. Over there. Over there. Listening. Over there. Over there. Sound sensor up. Over there. Listening. Over there.